So
thank you for watching. This is your first time watching it?
This is my first time seeing the
we
film.
can ask him questions. Oh my God.
Beautiful work by both of you. And listen, I know you have like 2 scenes, but you say like the craziest stuff. So here's funny. I need to know who wrote the script. Who's the writer?
Paul Zimmerman was our writer. The script took about 6 years to get to the screen, and actually Paul Zimmerman is a white brother. The script wasn't written. The story that you all saw, I guess the setting of it, that wasn't the original intention, but it got in the hands of Steven Soderbergh and Andre Holland, and once they got with Rachel Abigail Holder, our director, they were like, yo, we can move this to Brooklyn and then we can put it in Bed-Stuy.
I got you.
Put some Caribbean food in the script.
Mix it up.
And it gave it definitely a lot more flavor, but now comedically, now I don't know what it was like for you on set with Rachel, they gave me kind of, here's the gist of the scene.
Okay.
And
you
just
can
get there. You
Gotcha.
and Andre figure out how to get there.
Okay.
And like that's what I don't imagine a white dude Paul Zimmerman writing some of the shit you said.
No, it's true. You know what? This is a community project, this film. And so I'm sure just like you, Andre just calls me up one day and he's like, there's this role. A lot of people don't know I'm funny. And so Andre's like, y'all cast me in something funny then if you already noticed it. But anyway, so I'm just like, why don't you just come and be funny and do this character? So pretty much the same thing. I mean, a lot of that was, he did write a whole monologue of her just talking and just going on. But then I put sprinkles on there.
I also have to say, I know a lot of Dre is in this film. Like, Andre Holland is a beautiful soul. We all went to NYU together along with Rye. And there's this one part in particular where you were talking about Florence being trash. And we spent like summers in Florence together, like creating art and everything. And the first time that I went to the Academia to see the David, I was with Dre. And he said, Brown, you ready to see it? I said, yeah, man, I'm ready to go. No, you ain't ready.
Stop it.
I said, no, bro, I'm ready. He said, Brown, you ain't ready. And so who's seen the David? Okay. There's one, you turn the corner, like you're seeing all the statues and everything, and it's beautiful. And then you turn the corner, and all the way down at the end of the hall is the David. I turned the corner, Cassie, and tears just like flew down my face. Because somebody took a piece of sculpture and like carved a vein. You can see the vein in his arm and everything. And I was like, only somebody who does not understand art at all calls Florence trash. And I knew everything I needed to know about your character.
But and that was written in the...
It's good, you're right.
And I think even Rachel, and I think Andre too, is like, you can go further in how horrible Venice is. And I was like, what kind of person hates it? But you know what kind of person does that? Some people feel important saying how something isn't great to show like as if they have some extra piece of knowledge that everybody else in the room doesn't. So that was just her trying to have some hierarchy. Right?
Yeah, they gave me some degree of comedic flow, but my character kind of served a different purpose because I'm the only married person in the film. And to a degree, the film, and I feel like what Andre and everybody was trying to create was a film that wasn't necessarily about a man trying to choose between 2 women, but it's also the women deciding whether or not they want to be with him. So he doesn't necessarily have all of this power. And for my character, it's as Andre is trying to decide what choice to make, my character has already made a choice. I'm already in a marriage. And now it's how committed are you to that choice and kind of the back and forth, and as much advice as I'm giving Andre's character, am I really prepared to take that advice myself?
Did it make you, while you were filming this, did it make you be like, oh, marriage is fun, let's go back to that? Or does it make you feel like, oh, singledom? Because there's something sexy about both.
See, for me, it was a little different for me because in the film, I had just gone through a breakup. I'd never been married, but we were together for a while. And so we were transitioning into co-parenting and all of that. So you're dealing with that at home. And you're coming on set and you're talking about being committed to the choice, when in the truth, I had already not made that choice, you know? So there's like, there was an interesting, I guess motivation for me to kind of try and be Andre's North Star, but there's definitely an inner dialogue I was kind of having with myself on set from day to day. But I think what he wanted to capture, the dynamic between me and him, was essentially what two men are when you have the single friend and the married friend, and I know some of you in here on a date. I'm telling you right now, your man,
The grass is greener.
your man is in a group chat right now, and it is chaos. But he comes home to you every single night, and so like the idea of me just even flirtatiously asking him what's the sex like,
Right.
man, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's a real dynamic that
It is.
men have, and so you can ask about it, but ultimately my character wasn't going to
Yeah.
cheat.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. What is your relationship to the borough of Brooklyn? And like in terms of what the movie's saying about it being a different place now than what it was back in the day, like how have you guys experienced it? Do you have any particular relationship to Brooklyn yourselves?
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like everybody in the film but me has lived in Brooklyn.
Oh, you never lived in Brooklyn?
No.
Take him out of this movie. What? What?
No,
It just feels like maybe the Daily Show has conditioned us. So wait, when you were filming, you were in Manhattan?
Yeah. I've been in Manhattan and Harlem the 10 years that I've been in New York because I didn't want to be late to work. And so when I understand, like, I'm serious, like coming from Alabama, you think I'm gonna learn to train and this new job? No.
But people call Manhattan.
11th Ave, straight shot.
People call Manhattan Work Island, and then you live in Brooklyn, and then you go to Work Island. So that makes sense. You lived in Work Island to go to work.
Also, at the time when I first moved, there's a newborn. Brooklyn essentially is 45 minutes each way. That's 90 minutes a day. I'm not with my child, so I need to be quick. That starts that 90 minutes adds up. For me, Andres had time in Brooklyn. Nicole Bahari, DeWanda Wise, our director, still lives there, if I'm not mistaken. What drew me to Brooklyn and the story of Brooklyn changing is the number of Daily Show stories that we've done. When you look at Nicole Bahari's character's decision on whether or not to sell the art gallery, we've spoken to innumerable black people over the age of 70 who own brownstones that are second and third generations. They bought them for $50,000 way back in the day, and they have no choice but to sell them for $2 or $3 million to developers. And a lot of it is not rooted solely in, you don't care about Brooklyn. It's the fact that some of their descendants don't want the responsibility of taking on the property. And so they have no choice but to give it up. So the idea of Brooklyn changing, but also why, and also the decisions that happen with each individual person to contribute to the changing of the fabric of it. I thought that was a very nice kind of, without having to message like Keenan and Ivory, like you don't have to hit it that hard, but it was a very good underlying.
It's like a nice time capsule because what this movie is today, 10 years from now, Brooklyn will be even. I think about the neighborhood I live in now is Red Hook. Red Hook is like on the other side of Dumbo. A lot of people know Dumbo and they might know Fort Greene, but they don't know Red Hook. Right, there we go, Fort Greene.
I live in Fort Greene.
Oh, Fort Greene over here too.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
DeKalb and Cumberland.
Yeah.
Right there.
Didn't it feel like you got to come back into, right? It felt like home. And I felt like when Dre first told me about the film, I just thought, oh, it's so, Woody Allen made a career talking about Manhattan. So, and Spike Lee came back and did his Red Hook project. I thought it was so nice that someone was like, it's a love story, but it's a love story about just the borough. Like Andre being on a bike, that is me. You come visit me in Red Hook, I have a bike. Like you will see me. People be like, are you home? I'm coming around the corner.
You wearing a helmet?
Yes.
He didn't wear a helmet in the movie. It's all right.
I'm just keeping it local. I'm on the sidewalk.
He rode slow.
I live on the sidewalk. And I've lived in Williamsburg before it was cool. This neighborhood, Park Slope, Gowanus.
Yeah.
I've just traversed all over. Yeah.
You have any other thoughts about the gentrification in terms of
In my neighborhood right now, when we first moved to Red Hook, I thought it was like an insult to even go to that neighborhood. I was like, ain't nothing there. Ain't got no restaurants there. Y'all, I walked, and I haven't been home the last 2 months filming Bel Air here. I go home, and I told my husband, I was like, I felt like a tourist in my own neighborhood. First of all, I used to feel like I was the mayor because I knew everyone. It's such a small town. There's no train. There's no subway train there. So it's like you're there. You must live there. Honey, now it's like a pinball museum. There's a line down the block to go to this fancy restaurant. There's another restaurant. There are 2 breweries that sit on the ocean, 3 wine bars that live on the ocean. It's like gentrification. Not only that, the craziest part is across the street from my house is one building that looks like it's the Sydney Opera House. Imagine that for a second. It looks like the Sydney Opera House, like it's a museum of some sort, but nothing's happening there. And then next to it is a huge studio lot. They're building a movie studio. Like, what are we talking about?
So this is like the good part of gentrification?
I can't tell what's good about it because you look at, like now Airbnb can't happen like it used to anymore. Now you have to do 30 plus days. To get a 3-bedroom, to own a 3-bedroom apartment is $3 million, $5 million. So the prices went from, no joke, there's a woman who I know, she owns an entire block basically, this beautiful house. She bought it for $1 because the neighborhood was so trashed. And like the myth of this neighborhood is that like there's some famous policeman who came in and bought the whole neighborhood for pennies. And now, so yeah, gentrification, it's like, I love it because, you know, it's nice to have cute little ice cream parlors pop up. And then it's bad when people look at you and they're like, but why are you here? That's the thing about gentrification is that you feel unwelcome.
Yeah, and I think that's also what Nicole Bahari's character is kind of dealing with in the film is where do you fit in? Do you stay? Do you plant your flag and go, this is my space and I'm not leaving? Or do you just go and find a new place to be your home?
There's a real sense of heartache when she went next door.
Yes.
I don't know how, when she decided to go next door, I was like, oh man.
But shouldn't you stay? Like, I didn't understand that for the character. I was like, you should stay, right?
I think she was staying for reasons more than just the gallery. And I think once those reasons went away, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that relationship was complicated. That relationship was complicated.
That's a real, the hardest part of that movie for me is when she calls him up and she needs to say, you know, she wants to be connected to him.
Yeah.
Also, all of Andre Holland's stuff is filmed in my house in Brooklyn. This is a family. This is one of the things like, can I also use your clothes? What about, you gonna use your backyard today?
Can I borrow that Tuskegee t-shirt real quick?
But wait. So anyway, that was the saddest part for me when she's just like, you know, she wants to be like, can we hang out? And he's like, I'm on my way to go on a date with another woman. I was like, oh, that scene right there made me be like, I'm gonna stay married. That right there, at least I know my husband gonna take me out tonight if I ask. What? So stay married. Then Adrian, Caroline, keep it together.
So interesting. You guys have seen it a few times, and I'm curious, and then I wouldn't mind opening up to the audience in terms of like, what do you think is the thesis regarding love and just sort of the nature of adult relationships right now? Because there's so much going on in this film in terms of this brother's decision or indecision in making a choice of trying to like hold on to what his vision of his borough was and hold on to this ex-relationship while trying to have something else in the present or whatnot. Like, and everybody seemed to, like, what I appreciate is that information was shared. Like, nobody was like keeping anybody out of the loop. And at the same time, there was like, this can't last, right? Like, can this hold up? Like, what do you think is the thesis? Or what do you get out of it? Both of them.
I got out of it that you have to first make a decision on what you want for yourself and then stick to those choices. You know, for me, the hardest scene, I guess the most relatable scene was Andre going to Nicole, the conversation on the stairs, the stairwell, where his character essentially has to face the thing and look her in the eyes and go, not us, this can't work.
Right.
And then making the turn to walk away from that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't guarantee that, and keep in mind, when he makes that choice, there's no guarantee that DeWanda's gonna let him back in her life either.
Facts.
But you know for sure not this.
Yeah.
And you can't just constantly have 4 and 5 pots on the stove. You have to make space to be able to receive the thing that is the blessing. And so to me, I think that a lot of men, I will say, we keep a lot of pots on the stove, and then you can never really get the meal that you deserve because.
Ooh, that's a T-shirt right there. It's a long one. It's like read the back.
Now,
Turn that thing boiling up over here. Turn that down.
I'm not talking like I got my shit together. Hang on.
I hear you.
Because that stairwell conversation, that takes a lot. It is a lot. As a man, you just go, all right, well, this one ain't gonna work. Let me go ahead and be honest. And actually have to be held accountable for your indecisiveness.
Ooh, accountability, heavy on the account.
And that's part of why we avoid those conversations, because they get very honest very, very fast.
See, I think the point of the movie is saying you want a connection is not the same as saying I want to be vulnerable with a connection. And so what we're seeing in this movie are all these people who are saying, I want to be connected, but the bridge to connection on an intimate basis is like vulnerability. So people think connection is, well, I'm out having dinner with you. This is a connection. No, there's no vulnerability happening here. Well, I came to your house, I had sex with you. There's no vulnerability here. Vulnerability is to say, I have pain, you have pain, and I'm looking for love. Like, I want to be open to love, like something like that. And I feel like Andre's character doesn't really do that. He just wants something, somebody, and that's what both the women are picking up. They're like, but what do you want in a woman? Like, what do you, and who do you want to be as a man with this woman?
And I think also something that is another thing that I felt like simmered underneath was DeWanda and her character dealing with loss and dealing with grief. And if you take
DeWanda killed this. That's when she comes, when she comes out and says it's a romantic night, it's beautiful out here. She says, you have no idea what I miss Steven so much. The tear came down. He was like, no, I'm about to get in here. And she's like, no, Nick, not you. I miss my husband. Go ahead, Joe.
And doesn't she say something like, oh, so is this who, she pretends to be an actress in that movie. She's like, oh, is this who you think this is? That is every black woman has had that scene. She's like, oh, so you want me to be that woman? Is that who we're gonna be? Okay, yeah, come on in. Let's go ahead and be that sorry version. And he was like, never mind, wrong casting call.
He's like, let me get my bike. Get on out of here.
We gotta wrap up. They say we got 5 minutes, so we got time for like two questions.
Is there a question from the house? What up, bro?
They should call this He's Gotta Have It. There was also the time when I left the court reading in the mid-90s, but it was black and sexy. It's still black and sexy.
How was that?
Now it looks like Utah.
How dare you?
Understood. That was a statement, not a question. Anybody got a question? Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if it was intentional that the personification of Brooklyn was peaceful in this film.
Yes, it was. So you know what they wanted to do in this? Because there are many sides of Brooklyn.
What's the personification of Brooklyn being peaceful, intentional? This question.
Thank you for saying it out loud. And I think they want it feels like a painting. Like you already have so many movies that show you the rough part of Brooklyn, the graffiti part. But people don't realize the reason people like us live in Brooklyn is because the parks, the people, there's museums everywhere. And to me, this was my Brooklyn there's so many black bohemian artists who live there, who are the artists, the painters, the jewelry makers, the carpenters. These are my friends in Brooklyn. That's why I live there. It's like an art love story. So yeah.
Okay, listen. You all did us an incredible service by coming out and watching this movie, so thank you for your support. Please tell a friend. Yes. The better it does on an opening weekend, the longer it gets to stay out here, the more opportunities we get a chance to make movies like this. So God bless you all. Thanks for coming out. See you next week.